What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd. Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Jake, I hope you had a good week this week. With that, let's jump right into our first topic. But first, cheers. Oh.
The one prior to that went down a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so before we start this one, spoiler alert for Fallout. We are going to talk about episodes 3, 4, and 5. If you have not watched them, tune out, tune back in later. Otherwise, you did this to yourself. As we've mentioned already, I have not played any of the video games. Chad's played some of the video games. So our opinions are slightly unbiased.
It's more about the show than the comparison to the games, though I have seen a lot of talk online as to a lot of really great Easter eggs and changes and also similarities, ways of making games canon, and for you bitching about the timeline, it's its own thing.
I got to talk to Marty today. Those of you who don't know, Marty over at digicattech.com. Fuck, that's hard for me. Is my cousin and also the uncle of my son. So I got to spend some time with him today, and we got to talk about it a little bit. He's a brother. He's a brother to me.
Some people might not understand what that means, but
yeah, sorry. He is my older brother. He's my cousin, but he's realistically my older brother. So I get to see him frequently, and he and I got to talk about it. And he did play the video games, so like, I kind of want to get him on here to talk about it, but he's very adamant about like keeping the business and like fun part of it apart, unfortunately. But I got to talk to him, and so I can just kind of like do it anyway, even though he didn't want to. But he said it's the best video game adaptation of anything to TV or film that he's seen so far. And he said he used to play like back when it was on PC, and he said it used to be on PC first, and then it came out on like actual like consoles and stuff. And he said it got better, and they like redid everything and made it better, but he's been playing it since it like first came out. So, and he's a huge fan of it. But yeah, anyways, he said it's the best like game to film adaptation so far that he's personally seen. Obviously, that's an opinion, but
right.
I would like to agree, but I haven't played the games, so it's hard for me to.
Yeah, I've just noticed similarities from what I remember.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't play it heavily, and I also played it 15 years ago, you know. Sorry for the cough, everyone. I mean, going even after the first couple of episodes, the gore and blood keeps up. Fucking fantastic. Much more than still what we expected.
Yeah.
You know, even after the first couple episodes, I'm like, it might have just been like a, like a hook, to pull you in. No, it's consistent. It's
Consistently gory. Yeah.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
Um,
Yes.
Something that we've been kind of tracking since we started talking about the series is Maximus. It's the kid who is basically taken over for, is it Titan?
Titus. Yeah, Knight
Titus. Yeah,
Titus.
he's like, which was Michael Rappaport's character. Um, he just increasingly sucks as a person and character, which credit to the actor for making you hate him as much as you do, because I think you're supposed to. Um, good
Like,
job.
like he has a switch in him where, he's charming when he wants to be, but a degenerate also.
He's very self-serving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I think that's
Whatever.
where like that charm and charm might be the wrong phrase. Narcissism comes in.
I think charming is an okay word to use because I mean, I'm not comparing him to this person. I'm just saying that a lot of people used to describe Ted Bundy as charming. Obviously, he was not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a horrible, horrible monster. But this guy gives off that vibe. He's like, at least from if you're looking at it from Lucy's perspective, like she's so in awe of like what do they call them?
Knights of the
The
Brotherhood.
Knights of the Brotherhood. She's like so like in awe of like what that is and like, oh my God, is that a knight? You know, she's like super like into it, and then she meets this guy. He's not ugly, you know what I mean? So she's like, "Oh my God," you know.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for, and hopefully it happens, the moment that she realizes, like, yo, fuck this dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I hope that happens.
Now I have finished the series, so a lot of these things because you haven't yet.
Not yet.
So
I'm on like episode 6, so I only have like 3 episodes to go.
yeah, so I'm going to kind of be in,
Tiptoe.
yeah, tiptoe. That's yeah, as to not give anything away, especially for our listeners. On top of not giving it away for you, Jake, with stuff like that. So we talked about the first 2 episodes. Now we're on episode 3. That is, Maximus kind of has to ditch the armor because it's been damaged.
No, the one dude steals the power cell out of it. His squire.
Wasn't that in episode 4?
I don't think so, because he gets like I don't remember.
Or
This is why
at
I
the
was
end
like,
of episode 3 is when he
this
has
is
to
why I
ditch
was
it.
like,
You're
let's
right.
not like go episode by episode. Let's just
Yeah.
talk about it as a whole. But yeah, there's his squire. Who he starts like getting along with. He like reveals himself to his squire. And
well, he trained alongside his squire's
Yeah.
name is Thaddeus. It's played by Johnny Pemberton, who we have seen in 1,000 things. He's always like a supporting character. This is off topic of follow-up, but how old do you think that actor is?
Right, like 30 something.
Right, that would make sense. Dude's 42. Yeah.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah.
You look like a child.
He's just been in so many things, playing these side characters. But anyways, yeah. So he's like the replacement squire. Basically, Maximus radios in or gets a radio call in from the Brotherhood, and they're like, "Whoa, status update. What's going on?" And he responds like, "How's your squire?" And he's like, "He's dead." So they send in Thaddeus to be the new squire.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they do start to get along because Maximus knows Thaddeus. They train together. He was kind of like his only friend, even though he also bullied the shit out of him. But now he like has the opportunity to kind of get back at him. But then they start getting along. Oh, I thought that you were gonna.
I think I already covered the part that came after that. Yeah, it feels comfortable enough to reveal himself that he's like, hey, it's
After
actually
he brands
me.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brands him as his official squire. And then he's like, I have to tell you something. And then opens it up, and Thaddeus is like, okay, go fuck yourself.
And then steals his power cell. And that's what makes the suit shut down. And he gets stuck like that.
Yeah.
Until Lucy comes along.
Yeah, he almost like suffocates and dies inside the suit because he's just like stuck there.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, he almost gets eaten alive by the roaches, the rad roaches, that are the size of 2 Pomeranians each. I mean, this show is pretty rad.
Yeah, I'm not trying to break down all 3 episodes, like episode by episode. Let's just talk about like the big parts, you know?
One thing that is interesting because if like interviews with the game developers, which the show actually follows very closely, is like they admit that it's an alternate universe. We're not too worried about science here. Like she has like radiation sickness, and he gives her like Maximus gives Lucy like an IV of they call it Radaway. It's basically like a single dose of chemo, and then she's fine.
Yeah. They kill some people, or he kills some people. They're cannibals. They were going to kill them anyway, but you kind of see that switch that you were talking about where he's like, oh, I'll make you know, and then he just like cold-bloodedly kills like 2 people. Again, they were going to kill them, so whatever, but Lucy's kind of like, what the fuck? Yeah.
And
so
you also get a switch from Lucy. Sorry to cut you off.
You're fine.
Where, you know, she's been this very naive, like, as a vault dweller, their mission is to make a better world when they come out of the vaults. So anytime someone says something, like, they take it at she takes it at face value. Like, she doesn't understand underlying intentions or any sort of the history. She even asks Maximus, like, so what's been happening up here for the past, I don't know, 200 years? And we get to see that switch that gets turned for her, especially in episode 5, when then she gets might have been earlier, but when the ghoul takes her to the Super Duper Mart.
Yeah. Trades her in.
Basically, they're making more ghouls, cutting them apart, keeping them alive, creating bounty hunters.
The T-Mobile kid is here. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was actually T-Mobile, but that, you know.
Yeah, it could have been
that guy.
The Apple versus PC commercial-esque.
Something, yeah.
He's also in Free Guy. He's like one of the streamers.
Oh, yeah. He's like yelling at his mom. Yeah.
Going in for a kill shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I forgot about those commercials. I mean, he makes a point where he's just like a burnout. It reminded me of like Idiocracy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of go away, I'm baiting. You know, like
Dax Shepard.
Love that movie. Hate that it's becoming a documentary. America. But we also get to see Norm McLean, who's Lucy's brother. He's played by Moises Arias. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He was like in Elysium and a handful of other things, but
He's also from like Disney Channel.
yeah.
He's from whatever the one was with Ariana Grande. Don't know it. I was a little old for it. Nicole, who's younger than me,
Victorious?
told me.
I remember we talked about this the other day.
I don't know. Whatever the fuck she was in. I think he played Ariana Grande's brother in whatever Ariana Grande Disney show. Whatever. Besides the point,
Yeah.
this isn't what we're talking about. Keep going.
He's catching on to the fact that there's something weird going on with the vaults.
With the different vaults. They have different purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's from Vault 33, just like Lucy and their dad, who she is looking for. Vault 32 was...
I am Paul Atreides. Sorry.
But yeah, Paul Atreides was run down by like raiders and stuff like that. They don't know much about Vault 31. But he's starting to investigate it and things like that. It gets a bit much. We do get a really awesome voice cameo as well in the form of Mr. Handy, the disemboweling robot, voiced by Matthew Berry, who also plays Laszlo in What We Do in the
Shadows.
Man, this show, one thing that I've noticed is that when...
Next time you say incredible, you're going to have to take a shot.
Okay. One thing that I've noticed, I almost just said it intentionally, but I don't have a shot poured, that I really have enjoyed is, as anyone in the show that actually has like a story arc, as they come across different people that would be considered like an NPC in a video game, have very NPC-esque dialogue, which I think is... It's fun. It's poking at the fact that it's based on a video game. I love it.
Open world video game, right?
The further that the more recent versions, yes.
Because I think what Marty was saying was that it was like created by the same people who made Skyrim.
Yeah, Bethesda.
Yeah.
Bethesda makes...
So,
yeah, I think so.
I think so. Or he was talking about BioShock, but I think he was talking about this.
Yeah.
I think he was talking about Fallout.
Yeah.
He's a big gamer. We really got to convince him to come on this show.
Yeah.
Even though he's like doing stuff behind the scenes for us, we really got to get him on here.
Even just for an episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like...
He's a big Star Wars fan. Maybe when the next Star Wars thing comes out, or before it comes out, we get him on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
I mean,
the Ghoul continues to be like the coolest fucking character on the show.
Yeah.
Both before and after the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like I like his character is very likable. Like before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's human, and then afterwards he's just a badass. So you like him in both like sides of it. Yeah,
100%.
Awesome.
And there's an interview with Walt Goggins talking about like designing him, like himself as the Ghoul, and working with the makeup team and stuff like that, and trying to make him look badass but sexy.
Yeah, zombie sexy.
I mean, compared to the other ghouls that you see throughout other episodes, he's the best looking one. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's a cowboy. Baby.
No. No. We don't quote Kid Rock here. Unless we're... No, nope, not going to go there. Because there were implications. Yeah. I'll tell you in the break.
Anyways, we've spent a lot of time here.
Go watch the show.
Go watch it. Yeah, I haven't even finished it yet. I'm eager to finish it, but I'm watching like a few things. Yeah, there's stuff that I want to watch, and there's stuff that Nicole wants to watch, and we have to mediate, unfortunately. But also fortunately, because the things that she wants to watch are also very good. I'll talk about them in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
But I would like to have
great.
binged this already, and I haven't. It's frustrating. It's incredible.
I had to tiptoe because towards the end of the show, it gets fucking wild.
Yeah, Marty was telling me some stuff today too, and I was like, I haven't seen that far yet. And he's like, oh shit, my bad.
Yeah, the show is.
Do it.
No, because I don't have anything.
I'll do it for you.
And ready. This show is incredible, and yeah, top tier game adaptation. This is what fans always want when games are turned into something different.
Yeah, fucking amps you up, dude.
I love it. I can't wait for season 2. You mentioned something that amps you up. What amps up a handful of us is Ray's energy drinks. It's 0 sugar, 0 calorie, and 0 crash. It's a great energy drink, lots of great flavors. If you don't like energy drinks, I mean, that's totally fine because they offer so much more, from supplements to plant-based options, protein-packed desserts. Just listen up and learn how to save 15% on your order. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Ray's Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Ray's Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Ray's Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Ray's Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
Okay, nerds, it is time for Trivial Nerd Suit. This week's question is for Chad, and it is provided by me. If you would like to submit a question to try and stump one of us, please reach out to us on our website over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com and use our contact form. Just mention who the question is for. Chad, are you ready for the question I prepared for you this week?
Yep, uh-huh.
Yep, uh-huh. Okay.
I'm Babdo. Yep, uh-huh.
For what movie, based on a true story, did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? Bonus points if you know who played the main character.
Oh, fuck, that's it. Okay.
That's it? That's the whole question. Fuck you.
No, sorry.
I can reread it for you if you would like.
Well, see, the thing is, it's it's pre Star Wars, isn't it?
Steven Spielberg?
Yeah, well, because he was involved with the original Star Wars and
Oh,
Indiana Jones and stuff like that.
I don't think it was pre-Star Wars. It might have been. I don't know. I
When
didn't do that.
was the movie out in this? Is in the 70s? Is
I
it
will. Hold on. Calm
okay?
down. Everybody relax. Um,
Steven Spielberg.
okay.
Is it-
Definitely after. Definitely after. That's crazy. I didn't know that. You want me to reread?
Yeah. So based on a true story, Steven Spielberg won his first Oscar.
Hey, get your hands where we can see them. Hand check. For what movie, based on a true story, did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? Bonus points if you know who played the main character. Bonus points mean jack shit because we don't actually win anything between the two of us. But it would just be like, holy shit, you knew. Cool. And I do have a hint for you if you need.
Yeah, I do.
You need the hint?
Yeah.
It's in black and white.
Oh, it's Schindler's List,
That is it.
and
Good job.
uh, isn't it Liam Neeson?
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I was debating between Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes.
Fuck yeah, dude. Good job.
I'm
I told you. I was
the
I was
black
actually
and, the black and white is what helped.
you gave it away. Ah, I should have choose something a little more obscure. But I actually thought you weren't gonna need the hints for that. I thought you were gonna know that for sure. We talked about it before recording.
Yeah.
I was like, you got this. But good job.
I just didn't know when because
1994.
wow.
Yeah, I was surprised too when I pulled it up. I was like, fuck, dude, that was not as old as I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought that was 80s.
Yeah,
Like early 80s.
you were like pre-Star Wars, and I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I looked it up and I was like, 1990, fuck, okay. Oh. Good job. You did good. That was good.
The hint helped. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I should have
Well, he's just
picked a different.
he's done a handful of like based on a true story, and I didn't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
Taken 2, Taken 3. I get it.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, Star Wars. It's a galaxy far, far away. We don't know. Sorry,
nice,
that was a
dude.
dumb joke.
I mean, like I said, I knew you were gonna get that one. I just was hoping you wouldn't.
I wouldn't have without the hint. Little ashamed of that.
A great movie. My
Sad.
mouse is about to die. I gotta plug it
It's
in.
a sad movie. Doesn't your mouse not work when it's plugged in though?
Yeah, but I don't need it. I think at the immediate moment.
Mm.
So a few minutes on here, it should be fine.
Cool. Well, let's move on to some nerd news. This past week, we did get our first trailer for Transformers 1. Hopping on the animation train. Well, I mean, they started that way too, if you count Saturday morning cartoons, but
Yeah.
hopping back onto that train. It looks entertaining.
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The voice cast changed a little bit, which is, I mean,
Bit of a bummer, but
the main voice actor for Optimus Prime is still alive, so like, why not use him? Instead, we got
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. And like, if he's just voicing the character and not taking his shirt off, then why? You know, uh,
What?
but it looks really good. And I think where you were going with that jumping on the train thing is that, you know, after Across or Into the Spider-Verse came out, and then Across the Spider-Verse, a number of movies have come out that are like that same animation style. They're like, holy shit, this did really well for Sony. Let's try and do it ourselves. Ninja Turtles being one of them, and it killed it. I love that movie.
Yeah.
It was great.
This
Um,
isn't as, according to the trailer at least, it doesn't look as choppy of
no,
animation
but it
style, but
just
you're just taking a beloved franchise that has been mostly live action for
yeah,
years
a
now,
long time.
and then going
But there,
back to
but there's
animation.
also a live action movie coming out. Well, and I say live action by, you know, there will be real people in it, but also really CGI characters. Um, you know, like Lion King. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think it looks awesome. I grew up on Transformers. I know, like, whatever. I'm a few years ahead of you, but
I mean, I grew up on it too, but slightly different animation style from the original,
no.
and this is like an origin story where the main protagonist and antagonist grew up as friends. It's a
Kind of
cliche
like,
trope that's been
kind of
done
like Lex
forever.
Luthor and Clark Kent,
Yeah,
which leads us to My Adventures with Superman, season 2.
nice segue.
I know. I love segues, man.
Did you have to use both hands for it, or
Paul Blart.
yeah.
Uh,
Me?
anyways, we finally got a very small trailer, but we got a trailer and news for My Adventures with Superman season 2. Chad and I ranted and raved about the first season and how much it surprised us, how
Yeah.
much we liked it, and they left us on an awesome, amazing, huge cliffhanger with General Zod and Brainiac working together. Um, so I'm fucking stoked about this. It actually is a Saturday morning cartoon for me because when the first season came out was when Cal was born. My
Yeah.
son, also named after Superman. Uh, I would wake up super early and come downstairs with him so that Nicole could sleep, and I would watch that. Um, so fuck, dude, I'm stoked. I want to know who's gonna play the voices of both Zod and Brainiac.
I'm very intrigued. And also in this little clip that we see, like pieces of that ship are falling, but they look to be falling in a pyramid esque
Yeah,
fashion. Like, is this going to create
the Fortress
the
of
force
Solitude.
in the
I
middle
think
of
it is
Kansas?
because the I think the picture before the trailer came out, the picture was of Superman standing outside of the Fortress of Solitude.
But is it in like the Arctic? I don't remember from that first
I don't
picture.
know. I don't know, or if they do like a Smallville type thing where it like transports you to
Oh,
the
like
fortress.
the
I
the
don't know. I
caves.
have no idea.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that in the sneak peek trailer, we know in the first season that Cal is unable to understand Jor-El, who's talking to him in Kryptonian.
Hmm.
And in this trailer, he's able to understand him. So I wonder
Yeah, how that
what's going on there, how'd that happen?
yeah.
Fuck, dude, I'm stoked about this. Again,
Oh.
another animated thing. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Animation's killing it right now.
I love a good animated anything. I really do. So
Especially that girlfriend. What?
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 Yeah, she doesn't exist. It's fine. She lives in Canada. You don't know it.
She's a model and she lives in Canada.
Yeah, she goes to a different high school. That sounds weird phrasing it that way now that I'm like 34. But like that weird
No,
trope.
I got it. No, I remember. Yeah. Never used it. But I know
Of course not.
I know what you're talking about.
Me
Yeah.
neither. Me neither. what was weird when you actually had a girlfriend that went to a different high school and people were like, yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
Never happened to me either. But moving on, we also unless you want, do you want to?
I was gonna say, or if you like said like she goes to this school, and then somebody you knew somebody that actually went to that school. But again, I never used that thing, so I don't know.
That never happened to me either.
Yeah.
There are rumors for the upcoming Fantastic Four, because we know that from synopsis and what's been leaked that it's going to take place in 2 different universes, alternate universes. Supposedly we're going to get Norrin Rad as a different version of the Silver Surfer as well. So
alongside, no.
Yeah.
Alongside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for everyone bitching, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Fragile men, tape yourselves together. It's going to be okay.
You can go back to calling yourself an alpha now, which means absolutely fuck all. It's not a real thing.
We also got confirmation that Peacemaker season 2, which doesn't make sense in the continuity of DC, is under production right now with James Gunn. So there's that.
1.2. It doesn't make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I mean, I'm sure James Gunn has a way to very like it'll probably be like a fucking just like a sentence and be like, oh, there we go, fixed it. Like a Band-Aid, and then move past it. But
and it's gonna be
because you don't want to bring like a ton of, which is a smart move. Like you don't want to bring a ton of attention to it and like try to make it make sense. You just want to be like, here's a joke. This is why. Moving on.
Rhodey and Iron Man 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we're gonna get that again, as we saw from a clip from CinemaCon with Harrison Ford being recast as Thaddeus Ross. Like, oh, you look different without your mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Or Rhodey and Iron Man 2. Like, it's me. Get over it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Great.
But it's just, and again, I'm over it. I am over it. Almost over it. The firing of Henry Cavill as Superman. But it's just like kind of also a slap in the face to be like, you can't be Superman anymore. But I'm going to keep John Cena as the same character that was valid in your Superman run.
Yeah. And
that's going to be canon.
Still has a job.
Yeah. But the reason I fired everybody except for John Cena is because it's not canon and that doesn't make sense. But don't get me wrong, I love John Cena, but it's just like,
I do too.
James, come on, man.
I think at this point in time, there's so many. Let me say this first. I think
I said that before you started talking, so my bad.
No, you're fine. I think that James Gunn has said so many things now that it's like, okay, he has a plan. I don't understand it, but he likes to keep working with his friends.
Yeah, I get it.
But he makes good movies.
He does. They're
enjoyable. So like, I'm gonna go see it. I'm probably gonna fucking love it. Especially
that's why I was like, I'm over it and I'm open to.
Yeah.
I'm open to it now.
Just sometimes still like these bits of news, you're like, oh, what we could have had.
Yeah.
But moving on to, there's been a table read for The Witcher season 4. Is that what it is? Yeah, because we got 3 full seasons with.
Because we get Henry 2 more seasons and then it's done. Season 5 is the end.
Yep. So season 4 is officially in production with Liam Hemsworth. We haven't seen him fully geared up as Geralt of Riviera. We'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna finish the show. It depends on how season 4 goes.
I wasn't even a fan. Everybody that listens to this podcast since episode 1, we talked about Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Episode 1,
I
we talked about the Snyder Cut. Yeah.
love Henry Cavill. Okay. And I thought season 3 was hot
Yeah, it was
garbage.
trash.
So, do I have high hopes for trading out the probably best thing you had going for you? Not really. Not with the storyline you did.
Mm-mm.
So,
Nope.
I'll give it my best optimistic shot at maybe it's going to be okay, but after last season, not feeling real hopeful.
Good old community college try. Not even just the good old college try.
Speaking
nothing against people that went to community college, first off.
I went to community college.
Yeah, so nothing against people that went to community college.
But speaking of the old college try, Rebel Moon 2 came out on Friday.
Why I have so much more faith in James Gunn.
And it was more of like a special ed try.
Wow.
What?
I don't think that we can use that.
Yeah, absolutely you can. I was in special ed. It doesn't mean the R word. It just means you needed a little extra attention. You know? And this movie
You convinced me
needed a
this.
ton of extra attention, and it got neglected by all the teachers instead of getting the extra attention that it needed, because this movie is real dumb.
I got through half of the movie.
I shut it off an hour in, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch the rest of that.
At an hour in, I was like, there's so much slow-mo that I opened my phone and just held it off to my side and opened the stopwatch app and just start, stop. Anytime it went into slow motion. From the 1 hour mark till when credits rolled was 53 minutes. There was 8 minutes and 47 seconds of slow motion. That is too much.
And you didn't put it in the right spots. Like Zack Snyder did 300, right? It was like the movie that made that like so popular, right? And you put those slow motion moments in the right spots that it was amazing and bloody and awesome and epic and blah blah blah. And then in these movies, they put it in the dumbest, weirdest fucking spots, like farming and raking and kids throwing rice in the air. And like, it's like, why are you slowing this down? This is the weirdest place to slow this movie down. Dumb. It was so dumb. Oh my God. I said, we watched it and I started falling asleep, and Nicole was like, oh, we can finish it tomorrow. Let's go to bed. And I was like, we're not finishing this movie. It's so bad.
There's a moment where Jimon Hansu takes a drink of water.
I love Jimon Hansu.
Spits it out, and then it goes into slow motion for him to dunk his water into the barrel of water to refill.
Is that after I stopped watching? Because I didn't see that part.
Did you finish all of the slow motion farming? Because there's so much slow motion farming. And then he pours some over his head, and it's still... I swear to God, that was a minute of the 8 minutes and 47 seconds. There is one really cool thing, but we all knew it was coming. Jimmy, the robot, comes in during a big-ass battle and just annihilates, and that was cool. But I didn't get that far. The second half of the movie is 100% Rogue Squadron, but with like a C- GPA.
The entire movie, and I know that we talked about this during the first half of our part 1. The entire movie is ants, or no, A Bug's Life.
Yeah, which was also ants. Well, the other way around, but yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a moment where the invasion already started.
Was Ray Fisher in it in at any point
Yeah,
in
like a
the?
flashback.
Oh, really? That's it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
'Cause he had like that weird running scene in the first part, but I didn't
Yeah,
know if he was gonna
so
have a
much
bigger
slow
part.
motion just to watch him take 6 steps up a ladder before getting shot. Um, no, but there is like they're all getting ready for this invasion, right? And the entire empire is focused on this one village, much like in A Bug's Life. Um, and the invasion already starts, and then it cuts to Sophia Botella, who plays Cora or Arthelaus or however many other names she goes by in this movie. And the invasion already starts. And then you see her go into her little hut and then give herself a haircut. It's like,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
this is a good time for a haircut.
and a bad haircut at that.
Yeah, it's super not good.
Super.
Like,
I had
super straight crotch bangs, but kind of shaved on the side to make a mohawk. But,
It
like,
was a very Frank Grillo haircut. Um, my my biggest issue in the first half of it that I saw, sorry.
keep going.
My
So
my
good.
biggest it's true though, right? Only he puts his up in the front, but the rest of it, she wears hers down like a Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber kind of.
Well, she just clearly she like went through a really bad breakup and tried to do her own bangs. Only in this one, it's
And
revenge, and her
I'm
boyfriend's still
I'm
alive.
being mean to the movie, not the actress, because I actually really like her.
Yeah,
So
I think that Sophia Botello. I think that the entire cast is really good in this.
yeah.
Ed Screen.
Well, no, they're not good in. I mean, they're good in
Well,
other things that are written
right.
better.
Thank
But
you for correcting how
yeah,
I phrase it. Like the cast is fantastic.
yeah.
In this, they had to work with
It's not your fault, Will.
don't say that, man. You use the doggy bag, you pick up the poop, you throw it in the thing, and then you try and read it's like reading tea leaves, but off of a dog shit bag.
It was
That might
not
have
great,
been
which
great.
is a really big bummer because I'm actually I 99% of the time, 98% of the time, because there's another one I didn't like, but
Rebel Moon Part
I
One.
I sail I sail Zack Schneider. I
Yeah.
love Zack Schneider's movies. I think he's fantastic. These sucked, and the other one was Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch was
I
terrible.
never saw it.
Bad. Real bad.
Yeah.
Um sorry we spent so much time on that. It's just
I mean, go watch it if you're just like a huge fan of sci-fi. There are swords in it, and some of them are laser swords. So
there,
like,
there's one part that I told you about earlier, and it was my big. This is why I shut the movie off, and I was like, I'm done, done, done. Is was it Cora? You said yeah. She there's like a flashback scene where you see like why she's like on the run from
oh,
the yeah.
that's not where I thought you were going to go with it because I'd mentioned the laser swords. But continue.
Oh, well, no, she kills like this princess, and like she like comes a bunch of like lights out of herself. Um, and then she's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And like turns around and there's like five people with guns like machine guns, laser machine guns pointed at her.
That were part
And
of this assassination as well.
and she like kills all of them like just like one by one like bam 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 bam, and not one of them who already have their guns drawn like fired back. And I was like, okay. And then she goes to kill the guy who ordered her to kill this girl, and she's out of lasers, I guess. So she picks up a gun from one of the guys that she just killed, and instead of like turning around and shooting the guy that she was just trying to kill, even though there's nobody there to stop her from doing so, she runs away. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't remember the
Why
name.
did you even pick up the gun then?
Yeah,
Just run.
exactly. I don't remember the name of the character, but she's the one that has the laser swords, and she has like mechanical arms. And this is something
Oh,
that,
she chops.
yeah, in order to
I
attach,
bitched about it to you. Yeah, yeah.
in order to like use the mechanical arms that, and there is a moment later in the movie where you learn that the handles of those laser swords, the hilts, do get very hot and they burn you. But still, in order for her to wield these makeshift lightsabers, she cuts off her own arm to then attach.
But how'd she cut off the other one? Because doesn't she have two
Maybe
mechanical arms?
maybe she didn't use the laser part of it, or she just burned the shit out of her hand the
She was
first
like,
time.
"Hicka! Ah, fuck!"
That's why she has two, because she burnt the fuck out of her first hand and was like, "Oh no."
Oh, it's so bad.
I take it back. Don't go watch this movie. Just don't. There were 3 big movies that came out this week.
This
That was
wasn't
one of
them.
Well, it was supposed to be, and I don't recommend this one. I originally had it under my honorable mentions, but then I had parentheses saying dishonorable, and then I was like, no, not even no.
Yeah.
A good movie that came out though, that was fun and bloody and gory and quippy and just over the top, was Abigail.
Abigail. Vampire ballerina.
Daughter of Dracula.
Even though they don't actually name drop Dracula, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be the daughter of Dracula.
Yeah. He's like, I've gone by many names over the
Yeah.
centuries. Like,
Is one of them Dracula? Can you give us that?
yeah. Can you at least give us that piece of fan service? But I really enjoyed this movie. I mean,
It was so fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun horror movie. It was just gory.
Wasn't gonna be good going into it, but it was a fun, gory monster movie.
Yeah, it was just over the top gory. Like,
Mwah.
yeah, just like, oh my God, I stabbed you, but instead of you like just bleeding on the floor, you explode and splatter blood and
Yes.
guts everywhere.
Vampires getting stabbed with stakes just fucking explode.
Amazing. It was so much fun. I think that I mean for what it was just like a cheesy, which it was what it was supposed to be. Like just like a cheesy, funny, gory, kind of more of an action movie than a horror movie, even though it would probably be like in the horror
It's
genre. But it was a comedic action bloody movie. It was so much fun. Oh my God, I had so much fun in this
and
movie.
I mean the cast of it off the rails. I mean,
Wow.
Dan Stevens being an absolute psychopath.
There's like
Melissa
one
Barrera.
weak link somewhere in there, but I don't want
Yeah, we just won't mention that one.
to.
Uh,
Catherine Newton. What?
Giancarlo Esposito. Um, yeah, it was.
Melissa Barrera.
Yeah. Oh, love her.
Gorgeous. Every scene she was in, I was like, that Melissa is so hot right now. Like, and her political beliefs just make her even hotter. Like,
Oh, 100%.
and the fact that she like doubled down when they were like, "Hey, we're gonna fire you," and she's like, "Bet."
Do it.
I'm gonna put you on blast for firing me. Oh God, she's so pretty. She is talented. Did I say pretty?
Very pretty. Um,
She's awesome, and I love that she's just like, what do you call them? A scream queen when they're like a horror movie like
yeah.
popularity. Yeah,
Almost like
she's
typecast, but not
Yeah.
quite. But just
total
for a
scream
genre.
queen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Oh
Also, like Kevin Durand, being in that as the French Canadian.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is funny.
let's just also mention that I think this is the last performance of uh, Angus Cloud
Yeah.
postmortem, which
Yeah.
is it's very sad. Um, R.I.P. But this movie is great.
And I want to give props to. I had to look it up here. We got to give props to Alicia, and I'm probably gonna butcher this last name. Is it Ware? Weir. The little girl who plays Abigail.
I'm assuming that
Fucking
is German, so
Weir.
Veer,
Via.
Veer.
My name is Alicia Via.
I don't think that she's actually German, but it seems like a very German name.
Dude, she killed it as a creepy little disgusting biatch in
Holy
this
shit,
movie.
she's Irish.
It was awesome. Oh, so last name's pronounced potato?
Tomato,
Sorry.
potato. If you know, you know. No, but the reason that I was shocked by that is because she totally nails having an American accent in it.
Mm.
Yeah, she killed it in this role.
Uh,
Yeah. Whoop.
no, yeah, she was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, she was brutal, creepy, like a little kid in a ballerina outfit. She's like
Also, in being
dancing
able
with
to
a decapitated body at some point in the movie. It was
being
fucking cool.
able to switch between like, oh my god, I'm so scared, and then just like on a dime being like, I see you see
Yeah.
through it, or then going full psychopath. Like,
Mm.
go watch
A lot
this
of fun.
movie.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. If you're looking for like dialect in a movie that's going to be like meaningful and whatever, don't. But if you like just gratuitous gore in your horror movies, it's a lot of fun.
And
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
spend 2 hours of your time for pure enjoyment for $10 to $15. Yeah.
And there's there's a part that bothered me a little bit, and then I'll go into whatever. But there's like a part where Catherine so in the movie, Abigail touches sunlight for like a brief second, and her entire arm explodes, right?
Mhm.
Then there's a part in the movie where Catherine Newton's character, who's being controlled by Abigail, is like dancing in the sunlight, kind of like cracks of sunlight breaking through like the attic of this house that they're in, and she's like sizzling and like I don't know. It just reminds me of like other stuff that sizzles, and one of those things is this hot sauce that I know. It's called Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything, including vampires. Listen up, and we'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. Okay, friends, now we want to talk about another movie that came out this past week by Guy Ritchie called The Ministry for Ungentlemanly Warfare. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet, it is based on a true story, so if you haven't seen it yet and haven't read a book, definitely pause and come back. I'm just kidding. I didn't know much about this before the movie anyways. I was just trying to sound pretentious because I'm good at that.
Pretentious?
That's I am. That was enough time if you haven't seen it yet to pause, go away, and come back. First thoughts, Jake?
I mean, Henry Cavill, come on. Yeah. Great.
What?
Yeah. Alan Richson, Isa Gonzalez.
I'm running
Uh,
out of spit here, bud.
um, yeah, this movie was really, really fucking good. I don't even talk about the 5 minutes.
I wasn't going to. It was more. What? If you're
Uh,
not watching us on YouTube, you don't get that one.
it was a lot of fun. I think that they, I something like a Sour Patch Kid. I'm gonna go a little sour, a little sweet, but I think that a lot of the movie is uh, sailing around.
Hmm.
You know, but the good part is that you're sailing around with Henry Cavill, Isaac Gonzalez. Well, she's not really sailing, but
I was
and
gonna
Alan
say, and
Richson.
he's
So
saying sailing around.
and what's his
That
name? Alex Pettyfer. I know a lot of the guys that watch this show know him from Magic Mike. Um, not me.
oh,
I didn't know that, but yeah,
is that what he's from? Again, did not know that.
me neither.
Oh, he was in the movie In Time. He was.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Also in I
was
Am Number Four.
was he the one that gives Justin Timberlake all of his time before he dies?
I didn't know he was in that movie.
I just
I
I just
I
pulled it up.
fucking hated that movie.
I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it.
Way off topic.
Anyways, yeah.
This movie was really good. There is some long, boring parts to it, but title of my sex tape. But
Aw, he tries. It feels like a Guy Ritchie movie though, with like the wit and the humor.
it's
Uh,
quippy banter.
Thank you. That's the best
Yeah.
way to phrase it. It was not as bloody or brutal as either of us expected it to be.
I think the brutality was there, but like when you are like killing people in that like manner, like you want some blood. I want
Yeah.
to see like splatter and shit like that. I know that that's not really what this movie's supposed to be about, but come on.
Yeah.
It's already rated R. Give us that.
I mean,
Like if you're cutting people up with a hatchet or like shooting people with bows and arrows, I want to see some blood. And it was very like PG-13 on the blood scale. It was like
yeah.
stab, but no blood. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Like obviously with gunshots, it looked more realistic than a lot of modern day gun 'em down movies, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like knife assassinations,
Hmm.
arrows going through people into other people, an entire scene with a fucking fire axe, like a fireman's axe.
We got it.
Yeah. You'd you would expect it to be more bloody for how some of the action scenes played out with its
Yeah.
violence. Not to say that the action scenes weren't action packed.
No, they were great there and they were a lot of fun. I'm not again, I that being said,
Ah,
I haven't done that one in a while, but it's the action scenes are fantastic. The banter is fantastic. The cast is fantastic. Everything about this movie hits on so many levels other than if you're rated R, go for broke. Come on. Like
yeah.
go that extra step. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why you didn't cuz like
Be
I
asked
love
to
Guy Ritchie, but
be asked to tone down if it's already a war movie that's rated R with that kind of violence. Let the blood and gore replicate that.
yeah. Yeah. 'Cause they definitely like marketed it that way. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
think
That it was
that's
going to be like a
yeah.
bloody good time and like, you know what, shit like that. I
I
don't know if that was actually one of the taglines, but
very
like
well could have been.
the trailer was very much like this is going to be this. And then you watch it and you're like, the action is awesome. The cast is gorgeous.
And
Uh,
awesome.
and then the like scenes are not
Still
there.
enjoyable, but yeah.
Enjoyable, but yeah, like yeah.
That was like the subpart part of it.
It's like a softcore porn. You know, there's a lot of sex, but you don't see any like
A lot
as
of
Jonah
dude
Hill would phrase it, you don't see any dick going in.
Yeah, it's a lot of dude butts.
Yeah.
Woo! What is two claps and a Ric Flair, motherfucker? What is really cool is obviously based on a true story. Ian Fleming uh, is a character in this. If that name sounds familiar, but you can't figure out why, Ian Fleming is who created James Bond. And through the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which was a real battalion, became the SOE, I believe, of Special Operations for Britain. Um, I mean, he was a real person based a lot of the personality traits of James Bond on the main character of this, which was Gus March Phillips, Major
Henry
Gus
Henry
Phillips,
Cavill's
yeah,
character.
Henry Cavill's character.
Yeah.
This is just speculation, and I think it would be fantastic. Uh, because, like, how cool would it be that Henry Cavill got to play Major Gus March Phillips in this movie, who James Bond is based on? Because we know that Aaron Taylor Johnson has not confirmed if he's going to be the new James Bond, even though he's been offered it. But Henry Cavill was in talks, or fan casted, speculated, to also have been offered that role. How cool would it be if Henry Cavill was the new James Bond? Because he would also, that means that in film he would have played the real life person that was the inspiration for James Bond. I think that would have been so rad.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
I'm also a little bummed that we didn't get a young Christopher Lee character in this movie, because he also was part of the SOE, the SAS, and part of the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
One of the interesting things, and this is good and bad, take it how you want it.
Hmm?
Uh the at the end of the movie so your cast is Alan Richardson, Henry
Big ass
Cavill,
dude.
Isaac
Big ass dude.
Gonzalez, like
Beautiful
massive.
Hispanic woman.
I mean, it's Alex Pettyfer, who's not massive, but he's very, very in shape, guy. Uh, and then they show the characters that they portrayed in real life at the end of the movie, and they're no bigger than myself. They're like these tiny little guys, and I'm like, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, they did an amazing thing. I'm not taking away from what they did at
The
all.
How the
But
cast portrayed the character is
they're
amazing.
portrayed by Superman and Jack Reacher. You know what I mean? Like these massive, massive guys. And then the one that I kind of slightly had a problem with, not because of their acting capabilities or how attractive they are, it has nothing to do with it. But Isa Gonzalez, she's a Hispanic woman, who portrayed a Jewish woman that was pretending to be a German woman, and it was like,
With a
well,
British accent
and it so
from New
it
York City.
yeah, and it was like if you put this in a Disney movie, I know everybody loses their shit about it, but it's make believe, right?
Hmm.
So who gives a shit? It's like if you don't like a African American Little Mermaid, then don't fucking watch it. Whatever. but this is like based on a true story, and it's like, well, the real character wasn't Hispanic; she was Jewish. So
Yeah.
it was just weird to me that they had a Hispanic person playing a Jewish person, pretending to be
Oh,
a
white.
German. Yeah, it's like
A white. Um,
great. She did a great performance. I love Isa Gonzalez. Mwah.
yeah,
Nothing wrong there.
her
And I'm
portrayal in the
not.
movie was, I'm gonna say it,
Yeah,
incredible. Like
yeah.
she did such a great job.
Zero
But
issues with any of that. It was just a weird casting for is all.
yeah,
That's all.
it throughout the movie didn't feel weird
No, no, she
until
killed it. She was great.
you see the side by. But the same could be seen.
Yeah,
The
with
same could be said for
everybody.
Henry Cavill as Major Gus March
When
Phillips,
you see the real person
yeah,
that they were portraying, you're like,
Alan Ritchson as Lassen.
no.
The closest was the dude that played. They called him Hazy. He was an Irish guy in the movie.
Henry Hayes.
Yeah, he was. He looked the most.
Because he wasn't a superhero physique.
Yeah, 5'10", scrawny, had your typical World War
Not
II.
scrawny. I wouldn't say he's scrawny in on film with standing next to Henry
That's a
Cavill
good
and
point. Yeah,
Alan Richardson. Bigger than either one of us, for sure.
yeah.
Like
Average
yeah,
build.
yeah,
Average build
yeah,
in real life. Standing next to him, I'd be like, oh,
yeah.
that dude looks built.
Yeah.
But that's because again, go watch us on YouTube. Also, like, share, and subscribe.
Click the link in the bio. Uh,
Click the boxes above head. I don't know how to do that, so there's no boxes above the head.
we are
I
dumb.
really enjoyed this movie.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, go watch it. Also, go see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
I think this is one that should be seen in theaters because there's a lot of explosions and the sound was great.
Speaking of explosions, let's talk about our third sponsor, Jake's Pelvis. Uh,
Heyo. Any last words about this film, Jake?
no, nope, nope, nope.
No.
We need to go. I'm getting too drunk for this.
Then we're gonna close out this episode.
But before we close out this episode, we are going to talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you got?
So I don't know exactly how I got to watching this film. That's a lie. It was I was looking. You had suggested a couple things. I couldn't find it to stream, and this movie kept.
Oh, the
popping
way,
up.
way back.
The way back, and there was something else that you told me to watch. I don't remember what it. Oh, and I was looking to watch Wedding Crashers, but it's no
Oh.
longer available to stream. So I watched the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Mm.
I had never seen this Wes Anderson film. It was funny. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a Wes Anderson film. And then I came down with some food poisoning partway through the week. It was very gross.
I haven't seen that.
If you would have asked, I would have sent you pictures, and then we would not be friends anymore. But
A lot of cum.
bruh. So I watched a bunch of Smallville because already seen it. It's a comfort, and I knew that if I had to run to the bathroom for round 37,
Didn't need to pause it.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and I would know what was going on. So that's what I have. What about you?
We have been continuing to watch Sugar, starring Colin Farrell. I fucking love this show. I thought it was episode dumped, so I was like, "Yay, let's watch this and binge it." And like after like 2 episodes, it was like, "You have to wait till next Friday." And I was like, "No!" Uh,
I did start
so
watching it also,
yeah.
but
How far are you?
just the first two.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
But
same
episode
here. No, I
episode
think I'm a
3 was out when I started it, and I think
yeah.
episode 4
So I
came out.
think we're through episode 3 and episode 4 just came out on Friday.
Mhm.
So I'll probably watch that tonight. But and
The
then
and
the other
then
thing that we watched. Fucking A,
what
my
the
God.
fuck was that?
I have no fucking clue. I don't know why that came out of me. The other
That's what she
thing
said.
that we're watching is it's called Under the Bridge. It's super interesting. A lot of I don't want to say fun to watch. It's really good though. It's like a dark murder mystery, but it's also like based on actual events. So it's very sad at the same time. But it does have, like you had mentioned, even though you haven't watched any of this yet, or did you watch any of this?
Mm-mm.
No, it has a very Under the Banner of Heaven uh vibe to it, kind of, because it's Under the Banner of Heaven was like a Mormon based, you know, thriller. This is like a Jehovah's Witness kind of situation. I am not in it far enough for me to say that it's based on any kind of faith thing. I don't think it is. They just make a point to show that her parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, but it's like based on this like 14-year-old girl who gets murdered by a group of teens. Um, but we
Allegedly.
don't know which of the teens did it, and they're all like kind of keeping their mouths shut about it. It's weird, but it's super interesting and sad and whatever. But uh, I'm really enjoying it. We were like we watched the first 2 episodes because I think they dumped them at the same time, and I was like, holy shit! Like we gotta watch the next one, and it was the same thing. It was like this episode isn't out yet, and we are like, fuck. We're like, let's just go to bed then. And
Table flip.
yeah, so those are the things that I'm watching. I sail all of that. Sugar is amazing. Love Colin Farrell. This Under the Bridge show is amazing, but keep in mind that it's based on a true story. So if that's something that maybe you wouldn't find some enjoyment out of, I would maybe not recommend it. But otherwise, I totally recommend it. It's really good. You really want to punch some teenagers in the face. There are like moments where I'm like,
Stop.
oh,
Stop selling.
I'm
Stop
like,
selling. Remote.
I'm gonna punch that bitch. And Nicole's like, that means she's doing a good job as an actress. And I'm like, don't do that.
Don't don't take me out of my emotions.
Don't do that. But yeah, they really do a very good job of making some teenage girls very punchable in this show.
But that also means that they're like doing a really good job of acting, right?
Don't do that. That's it. That's what's happening over here at the Peters Casa.
Casa de Peters. Well, for all of our listeners, we really. Was that your
What
shot?
happened?
Was that your shot?
Nope, that was the rest of my.
I was about to be like, when we finish recording,
This
there
is
will
my
be
shot.
hands thrown.
No, I thought about actually doing it, and then I was like, I don't think Nicole's gonna like me very much if I do that, and then have to do an actual closeout.
Yeah. Well, for our listeners, if you like what we're doing, oh my god, we're not pausing. You're gonna have to pretend at the end of this. If you like this show and you want to support us, the best way to do that is to give us your money, which we would really appreciate.
You keep talking. I got this.
Okay.
I got you.
The best way to do that is if you head on over to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. Oh, that's rough. It's a monthly subscription. You get some bonus content behind the scenes. member exclusive merch, and opportunity to be on the show. Holy shit, he did it. If you don't want to support us on a monthly basis, I mean lame, but then just head over to www.allthingsnerdpod.com. Check out our merch store. That way you still get something for your money. Everything goes back into the show at this point in time. And we love that. Also, if you're in the need of some marketing support, branding, anything like that, check out Marty over at Digicat Tech. He's been a huge help here with us. We've already seen some growth because of him, and it's been amazing. I was going to be like, you motherfucker. Also, if you like other nerdy podcasts, especially if you're into D&D, check out Kobolds in the Basement podcast. It's another All Things Nerd production. It's a live play Dungeons and Dragons campaign that we have a lot of fun doing. Other than that, just like, share, subscribe, click the share button. But realistically, we love you. Thank you for just supporting us. And this has been the All Things Nerd podcast.